Yes, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to a new Team Gullit YouTube video. My name is Renzo, and today we have a brand new formation guide for you guys, made by one of our coaches, LegendFrod himself. And that's a good one because we also have coaching sessions available at Team Gullit, so definitely check out the link in the description if you want to become even more better at FIFA and have a little bit of advice from one of our coaches, including myself, including Timo. So definitely check that out in the description. But like I said, new formation guide 4-2-3-1 with a little bit of a special tactic. So let's just, like always, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Alright, so for starters, we're gonna start off with the tactics and instructions that we use this 4-2-3-1 with. First showing you guys off the team. Obviously a pretty good team. I think everyone that has played FIFA the entire year, weekend league wise, will be having a pretty decent team by now, including maybe some red picks like you see here. Timo has Wan-Bissaka and Mukiele, very good players. But like I said, the tactics first. It's pretty balanced. That's not the most crazy thing about the formation guide here. But it's 4 width, 5 depth. I've told you guys before in other tactics you can mess around with this if it's like 5-5, 6-4, 4-6, or even that. But if you want to play your depth on 7, your defensive line will perform automatic offside traps. So definitely just use whatever you feel comfortable with, and just the offensive style, like I said, just copy it, maybe mess around with the width a little bit. And yeah, like I said, 4-2-3-1, it has 3 cams. You just want to make sure you have everybody positioned on his preferred foot as you want. Like Maradona, for example, here is on the right side, so you can cut inside and play with his left foot. For Timo, same counts for Rashford. But I'm standing still here at the balanced attack overlap on the fullbacks, Wan-Bissaka and Roberto Carlos. That is the crazy thing about this formation. We're using balanced fullbacks. We're not using them on stay back while attacking, in which you see most of the tactics being used. That allows us to play a lot down the wings, but we'll cover that later. Just copy these instructions that we just pass by here real quick. Get into the box for cross on the outside cams is something that we do because we want them to be more involved in the attack. And this one is a little special. Cristiano, in this case, the striker, is on drift wide and get in behind, and that is mainly because we are going to be creating all of our space down the wing pretty much. And you can mess around with these instructions on the CDMs, for example. You could stay away from cut passing lanes. I would recommend stay back while attacking though, because you'll definitely see what is the advantage and what not of this formation. But yeah, feel free to use free roam on your cam as well, for example. So starting off with the strengths of this tactic formation, the fullbacks. Because we're keeping these unbalanced, we're having so much offensive variety down the wing, because it's basically always a 2-on-1 situation in the counter-attack if we build up through our fullbacks. Like you can see here, we're just passing our way through, getting a little bit lucky here with Rashford, but Roberto Carlos is just bursting down the wing, and it always leaves the opponent in kind of an annoying position where he has to choose if he is like committing on the one that's holding the ball or trying to cover the run that the overlapping fullback usually is making, because there's usually always space down the wing, especially in 4-2-3-1 for you to play your cam. But if the fullback is like overlapping, it's very tough for him, for your opponent in this case, to defend. And you can see here it allows us for a lot of triangle combination passing play, where you can just access easily your fullback, because he's just getting a lot of space. And I need to quickly get my screen on again. Yeah, there we are again. Alright, so like you could see here in this case as well, Rashford was cutting inside a little bit and Roberto Carlos was still overlapping, and this allows us this perfect triangle combination, and Rashford actually like dragging out a defender into the middle, allowing even more space for Roberto Carlos. And here as well, like Adama, he's just pushing up because he recovered the ball himself. But there's a crucial factor in this, in which you can definitely see that the balanced instruction on Adama, in this case, is working out very well in this counter attack. Because right here, you can see him, he's making the run because we have him on balance, right? If he wasn't stay back while attacking, he would have probably like dropped back now a little bit and tried to get back into position. So, like I said, for the counter attacks ourselves, it's very effective of having these fullbacks on balanced. But yeah, it is also a little dangerous, but this is not the only strength. Because the 4-2-3-1 in general is a kind of a formation in which passing creativity gets rewarded often. The 4-2-3-1, like I said, it has 3 cams, and these cams are always a little bit more free roaming than, for example, a winger. A winger just stays down the wing pretty much, and these cams are like, yeah, if you have the box, you have like 3 guys, one in the middle, one to the right side of the box, and one to the left side of the box. They're not like down the wing as much as in a 4-4-2, the RM and the LMR. And in this case, you can see that because we're just using like passing combinations through our middle cam into our outside cams. Like you can see here, CR7 from striker position dropping a bit back into the 10 position, and then we just have Ronaldinho, Maradona just able to play in and around the box, which it's just tough to defend. It also floods the box a little bit, so it can be tough sometimes to create the space that you want to. But if you make the right one-on-one situation or like one-on-one skill moves, you will definitely be able to create a lot of space with this formation, because you constantly have your opponent kind of guessing who you're going to make that dangerous pass into, right? And here we can see the drift wide instruction on CR7 really working out well, because CR7 right now, he's gonna make that run into the space because we have him on drift wide, and he usually wants to make his run directed to the byline. There's obviously weaknesses to this kind of tactic that we worked out. The stamina on the fullbacks, for example, or just in general, fullbacks being vulnerable in behind, because they're constantly pushing up, and you can see it's the 80th minute in this game, and Wan-Bissaka Timo this season doesn't even have the worst stamina, but just because they're constantly pushing forward and having to run backwards, they have to catch up a lot as well. In this case, Wan-Bissaka was even like kind of positioned right, in my opinion, but he still gets burned, unfortunately, by Pele. And this is something that you might have with your fullbacks using this formation as well. That just the stamina is going to allow your opponent to, just get easy through balls down the wing. As you can see here in the substitute screen, you can just see we have to switch our substitute, our fullbacks, which is kind of an unfortunate situation because you always have to make like 2 substitutes. Another thing, isolated striker, 4-2-3-1. It already kind of says it. You only have one striker, and in some games, if your defender or if your opponent actually is a really good defender and he presses up high, kind of feels sometimes that your striker is just alone and you have to constantly hold the ball up with him, which can be tough sometimes against good defenders that pressure pretty high. Because right now you can see CR7, he's not really getting into a lot of space. We have to hold up with the ball, but we don't really have passing options for us, and we just lose the ball. And that's the thing as well with 4-2-3-1. Your build-up has to be a little bit slower than other formations. That's just the way it is, because in 4-4-2, for example, or 4-2-2-2, you can just easily combine with your strikers to just push up a little bit. And here as well, like the striker right now is alone. There's nobody in front of him like making any runs. So your striker is sometimes drifting when getting in behind, like I said in earlier examples. But right now we have to hold up the ball and try to make these passing combinations. And obviously, because we use our backs on our fullbacks on balance, I should say, we do have some vulnerability in the counter attacks down the wing, and this allows the opponent to sometimes even make a bit of work of the other space that's available to him. Because if you can see the radar now, we just have a gap at our left back, right? Because Roberto Carlos was pushed up a lot, and it just allows your opponent to create space a little bit more easy. So if you're a comfortable defender, you might not experience as much trouble, but if you're not too confident, this could be very hard for you guys to master. But it's definitely, like I said, offensively it's a really creative formation, but defensively it could be you could be having a tough time. Right here as well, like you have to be constantly focused in the defense, not stepping out. But this is the situation that you will get into a lot. If you lose the ball, your opponent has like a way to just play in his right cam or left mid or whatever, and play to the striker because he has so much space, because there's only like 2 center backs trying to keep everything tight, right? But that was it for today's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed this formation. It's a little bit maybe of a new formation or a new way of playing the 4-2-3-1. It will be tough, but let us know what you guys think of this, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video, which we will be team reviews. And yeah, I'm super excited for that. So catch you guys in the next video. My name is Renzo. Ciao, ciao.